Good afternoon, everybody. This is Pastor Rick, Broadman Baptist Church. I hope you're having a marvelous day in the Lord. What a glorious day to be alive and worshiping Him and honoring Him and being out in the kingdom, reflecting Christ's love to all those who need to see it. What an opportunity we have every day to try to make a difference in this world just by being a child of the one true God. Today is the Broadman Word. It is February 22nd, 2021. And today I want to talk to you about your identity. You know, there's a lot of people out there trying to find out who they are, and searching for things. And we have millions of people doing these DNA tests and profiles and family trees and stuff. I have to admit, I did it. It was interesting. I was curious. But you know what? What my race is, what my nationality is, my origin, where I came from, don't tell me who I am in the sense that really matters in life. And then I thought, when I realized all this had really taken off, that why do we care? As believers, we have a different look at this thing. The reason people care is because they don't know who they are, and they want someone in authority to tell them who they are. Well, it begins this process of, assuming your identity based on what's ascribed to you from very early on in childhood. Our parents actually start this process, You're a good boy or a good girl, or look how fast he can run, or look at her climb that tree, or you're going to be a good brother or a good sister. And, or one of my favorites, look how smart he is, or, look how smart our child is. Parents love to tell other parents about how brilliant their kid is. And, those of you fortunate to have really good parents, we're told, you're my child and we love you. And that sort of became your identity, or hopefully more than sort of became your identity. This process doesn't get helped any. It continues in school with teachers and coaches ascribing our identities to us, Look how athletic he is or she is, and look how good he did in this contest or that contest. And we even get, identity ascribed from peers, later on in the high school years. We hear about somebody being a ladies' man, or a popular girl, or, identified with whatever club you're associated with because of your interests, and all these things. And then as we get older, we get to hear even more ascribed identity, at work, at home, any clubs that you might be a part of, even at church, and all kinds of things are told to us about ourselves from people supposedly in authority, and able to make distinctions about who we are. He's a great boss or CEO. He's a great dad. He's a great brother, good friend. Or how about this one? Oh, he's been married before, or she's been married before, or, what's wrong with him? He's been laid off 3 times, or other things. People ascribe identities based on the thinnest of information, and then of course, well, he's just old. Yeah, that's a great identity, as if that is supposed to, encompass some sort of generalized characteristics that all elderly people have to subscribe to. It's just nonsense, the things that we have ascribed to us, and that then try to become our identity. That's just not the way we go about it. For Jesus followers, though, these things should be irrelevant. We should have our identity ascribed to us by the Creator God. We should be who He says. He, in fact, gives us pieces of His Spirit to indwell in us, to help us form our identity and form who it is we're going to be in his kingdom and fulfill the work it is that he had for us to do. And then these things translate into our identity. First, a child of the one true God, an heir to the kingdom. And then secondly, a fulfillment of the duties, responsibilities, and work that God specifically designed for you and gave you the tools to accomplish. It was ascribed to us the day that you accepted Jesus Christ. Whenever you accepted God's invitation to be adopted into his family, from that day forward, you were heirs to the throne. You were a child of the King of Kings, and so many other things that the Bible ascribes to us. If we choose so, we can live in our true ultimate identity. We can be the ones identified as beloved sons and daughters of the living God, and we can carry that with us into the world as our frame of reference of who we are. We don't need to search for it. We don't need to read a book. We don't need to listen to a psychologist or an actor. We don't listen, or a politician. We don't need anybody in our lives to ascribe that to us. It's already been done. It's been done for us by God, and we need only then to explore it and develop it and become it, because then we will know true freedom and true fulfillment, and we will know truly who we are. All the other identities ascribed to us by others then don't matter. In fact, they become sort of irrelevant because you're not part of that world with those identities. You're part of God's family, so you're in the heavenly realm now, being identified by supernatural, extra-worldly things, and due to the love of God, and not any subjective, worldly circumstance, because you belong to a club. You know, what nonsense is that to allow that to be the thing that identifies you? It shouldn't. You're a child of the one true God, and you are a priest in his royal priesthood. You're a saint, a soldier in his army, and so many, many other things. But these are the things that define who you are, and you should live to fully develop and fully live out that identity, because in that is peace. In that is joy and true lifelong fulfillment that so many people are looking for, trying to find out who they are. John 1, 12 and 13. Let me read it to you. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband's will, but born of God. That's you, born of God. And so that is your identity. Embrace it, know it, love it, be it. And you can find a level of peace and joy that is not available in any worldly identity or anything anybody can tell you about your worldly identity. Don't worry about it. Leave it alone. Live for an audience of one, the one, and be in peace about it. I love you. Take care. I'll see you next time.